Holy crap, guys, the Xiaomi YU7 is here and it is gonna take everybody's lunch. So what do you need to know as NIO stockholders when it comes to this car? There are some good news for NIO stockholders and there are some bad news. Let's talk about the good news first. The good news is apparently, according to DCAR, the factory hasn't even finished construction. All right, so the factory number 2 for Xiaomi still needs some time to finish construction. That means this car, the Xiaomi YU7, might not see the light of day until much later on, maybe at near the end of this year or maybe early next year. And factory number 1 for Xiaomi is pumping out SU7s like crazy, and they don't really have the opportunity to produce the YU7. So that's the good news. All right, that's the good news. And this car, okay, on paper, holy crap, let me go through some of the specs for you. Okay, so there's 3 variants: standard, pro, max. The standard is, of course, single motor, rear wheel drive, 5.88 seconds 0 to 100. The max is 3.23 seconds 0 to 100. All these cars are 800 volts, so instead of the SU7 having a 400 volt variant, all of the YU7 is going to be 800 volt, which, by the way, on volt is 800 volt, but NIO's ES6, EC6, they're still 400 volt. They haven't updated that yet. So 15 minutes, 620 kilometers of charge for the YU7. Crazy. And of course, the range, CLTC, 835 kilometers range for the standard variant, and for the max variant, 760 kilometers of range. And then 21-inch wheels come standard. There's also the choice of air suspension if you want that, which is also something that's missing on NIO ES6 and EC6. If you want the air suspension, you have to go for the ES7 or the EC7, but then those cars have not been updated in the 2025 refresh. So that's kind of a dilemma right there. So the Xiaomi YU7 will come with NVIDIA's Thor chip with 700 TOPS of processing power. And I'll be very honest, Xiaomi's autonomous driving hasn't really, lived up to their reputation. Their reputation for their own autonomous driving has been pretty bad, right? Lots of accidents and that kind of stuff, and false AEB braking and causing accidents, etc. So, it is what it is. They have it. Is it the best? Of course not. Okay. Official launch is going to be in July, but of course, with the factory situation, deliveries probably won't happen until the end of this year, Q4, or maybe early next year. The car does have active air vents in the front, which, if you guys know about active air vents, this is a big scandal for Xiaomi. The SU7 Ultra advertised active air vents in the front, but actually it was blocked, right? Because they didn't really engineer the air vents inside the car. But with the YU7, the air vents are real. Okay, it has a massive 141-liter frunk, massive horizontal heads-up display. So the front dash is actually a heads-up display projected onto the glass, and it's very, very big, very, very interesting. And it supports 135-degree tilt for the rear seats, and it has a removable rear screen / tablet, and also has a fridge that comes standard. So a lot of the features that everybody in China really, really wants, and they have this in the car. It is like, if you see the success of the Xiaomi SU7, they're selling about 6,000 per week. Yeah, so they're selling a lot of cars, right? 6,000 per week. Some people will stop buying that and buy this car because it's on paper a lot better. But man, how is NIO going to be impacted by this? Because clearly this SUV, it also depends on how it's going to be priced. If it's priced around 250,000 RMB to start off at, and then goes up to 300,000 RMB, that's right in NIO's territory. If this car is significantly cheaper than NIO's ES6, it will have some impact. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people want this car, but they're probably going to have to line up for a long, long time. There's already a lot of people who are these kind of like sort of position dealers, so to speak. They order the car and they place lots of pre-orders so that they can get the car early, and then they also sell these positions to other people for profit, and a lot of people are doing that. So there's going to be huge lineup for this car, a huge wait time for this car. And similar to what happened with the SU7 last year, around this time last year, long wait times for the SU7. People simply just couldn't wait that long. And if you had a SU7 pre-order, you can go to NIO and change that pre-order to a NIO pre-order, basically. And even though Xiaomi's not going to refund you the pre-order amount, NIO is going to say, hey, we'll give you that amount in discount for your NIO purchase. So instead of buying the Xiaomi, they buy a NIO. They buy a NIO ET5, ET5T, which, they learn, hey, this is Xiaomi SU7 is a great car. Electric cars can be good. Let me check out NIO ET5. Oh my God, battery swap, this is amazing. And they end up buying the ET5 and ET5T. And there's been a lot of orders where NIO has gained orders basically from that method. Basically, impatient Xiaomi buyers switching to NIOs, and the publicity that Xiaomi gets really also benefits NIO in that aspect. So people really are more interested in electric cars in general, which is a good thing. But needless to say, okay, when Lei Jun had this presentation, the whole time he was comparing the car against Tesla Model Y, comparing it against Porsche, right? And also Maybach as well. So it's very interesting. You can clearly tell they're going after the Model Y market share, right? They're trying to go after Model Y market share. I'm sure everybody at NIO is like diligently looking at this car, observing this car, because it is going to be a heavy hitter. Seeing how the SU7 has been selling quite well, I'm sure some sales reps might be a little bit worried about this car. For me personally, I am also a little bit worried, okay, because, well, even though Xiaomi hasn't had the greatest reputation in terms of quality, it seems to have lots of quality issues in terms of quality complaints. Xiaomi is at the top of the list, but a lot of people like the brand, a lot of people are buying the car, and they like the design of the car, which, funny enough, Lei Jun said they didn't copy anybody, but clearly it resembles the Ferrari Pure Sangue, like extremely resembles that car. And also other parts that look like McLaren, like the lights. The back of the car looks like an Aston Martin SUV. So, they say they didn't copy anything. Are you sure? But yeah, in terms of feature-wise, this car is quite loaded. But we'll have to see in terms of pricing. Yeah, but this car does pose a big threat here in China for everybody, okay? Not just NIO, for Tesla as well. I'm sure if you compare the two, there will still be people buying the Tesla Model Y, but the Xiaomi YU7 seems like a great car for people in terms of the features and everything it offers. So, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how everything goes. But if history is anything to go on, then the success of the Xiaomi SU7 probably indicates the YU7 will also be quite successful. Yeah. So hopefully, going forward, NIO can have some great incentives, some great promotions, really push battery swap more and get more people to switch to a NIO, okay, instead of the Xiaomi YU7. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.